Hello. Hello everybody, it's Victoria here from Inspiration Den. Down in the tree room, this is our, what's supposed to be dining room, but obviously who needs a dining room when you've got kids and books and stuff. So today I wanted to talk about something well-being based, so I thought that would be really lovely for us to do. So I've chosen to talk to you about gratefulness today. Now, there's obviously lots of rubbish and not so nice stuff going on in the world, but we can always 99.9999% of the time find something to be grateful for, and it can only sometimes be a tiny thing in the midst of all sorts of craziness and chaos, but I do believe that there is always something to be grateful for. So gratefulness really is just being thankful, taking a few moments to show your appreciation, to recognise and acknowledge the good things in life. We've talked previously, not on Tuesday Live, but at Warriors and various places, we've talked about our humans' negativity bias that we have. So perhaps I'll tell you about that next time. It's quite interesting though, if you want to Google that, it's quite interesting to have a look at. But we are, as one of our survival techniques, you know, we do have this negativity bias in our minds, and that means that we focus on the negatives far more than we focus on any positives. So we really need to actually make a conscious effort to focus on some of the positive things in life, and that is partly where the gratefulness practices come into play. So being grateful or doing gratefulness practices is a really great thing for loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of reasons. Some of the reasons why gratefulness is so important is because it shifts our focus from the negative into the positive. Okay, it improves our quality of life hugely. It makes us feel happier. It can reduce our fears if we're thinking about neutral things or positive things more often than some of the negative things that we might be worrying about, we might be fearful of. Our focus will be less on those and more on the positive, on the neutral things. It can strengthen our faith and our hope, can increase our peace of mind, and it encourages and enables us to reach for our goals because we're feeling more confident, we're feeling happier, we're feeling more at ease with ourselves. So that's just some of the very basic reasons why gratefulness is a great thing to be doing. So mainly what I wanted to talk to you about was actually different ways that we can practice gratefulness, because that's the main thing, isn't it? So it's great to know why it's important, and it's great to know how it can help us. But I think it's really great now just to make a start, just to get some ideas of how we can start, how we can do it, and just do it, basically, just get going. So one of the really top tips for gratefulness practice is keeping a gratefulness journal. And that doesn't have to be anything long-winded, anything fancy. You could just have a really old notebook or a piece of paper somewhere, or make a notes on your phone or something, but every day just try and come up with 3 things, or maybe start with 1 thing each day that you are grateful for. Now, it's a really good thing if you can be specific when you're doing your gratefulness practice or your gratefulness journal, because obviously if you've been doing it for a few weeks or a few months, or if you don't do it long term, for a few years, you will start to run out of things if you do too general things. So try and be quite specific if you can. So instead of saying, well, I'm grateful for my friends and family, say, I'm really grateful because my friend sent me a text message today and it really made me smile, or I'm really grateful for my partner who cooked the dinner tonight because that gave me one less thing to do. But try and be specific with your things that you're grateful for, rather than being too general, because that helps to focus, and it helps us to think of other things on other days that might be good too. So that's a really, really good thing. And another thing that we do a lot actually as a family is when we're having our tea, we take it in turns to go around the table and everybody says 1 thing that they're grateful for from the day. And it's something that the children actually really enjoy, and they often initiate that conversation. So obviously in the beginning it was always me that initiated, oh, tell me something grateful for, but actually they often initiate it now as well, which is really nice. because they obviously enjoy the process and they benefit from it, and it gets them thinking about good things and things that they are grateful for. So sometimes we say, tell me something good that happened today, and that again is counterbalancing that negativity bias again, isn't it? Just focusing on the good. A lot of the time at the moment it's, well, I'm grateful for the internet, and I'm grateful for the internet, and I'm grateful for the internet. We're having that a lot of days at the moment, but so I'm trying to ask them why, and if they can think of a different reason, then that's fine, otherwise they have to think of something else. So obviously they're grateful for the internet because it allows them to do their homework, and allows them to play games, and we did Isabel and I did some yoga on YouTube today, which was a kids yoga. I forgot what it was called, but if I ask her tomorrow, I'll try and put it in the comments for you. But it was quite fun. There was a crazy lady dressed up with the pink troll hair, doing some crazy troll-based yoga, as in like Disney Trolls, the film, yoga, and telling the story. So it was quite funny, but she really enjoyed that, and I quite enjoyed it too, I have to say. But yeah, I forgot why I was telling you that. Oh, because we were grateful for the internet. Sorry, yes, I got distracted. Yes, grateful for the internet. So yes, but yes, so yes, if they can think of a different reason, then that's fine. But yeah, just thinking about different things each day is a really good thing. Okay, so that's that. So then some other ideas, just to have a quick look. So writing a letter or a card to tell someone why you're grateful for them and to say thank you for whatever they do for you is a really lovely thing to do. It could be that you send them a message, or some other way of communicating with them, a phone call or whatever, but some way of saying to somebody what you're grateful for, why you're thankful for them, is a really lovely thing. Noticing the beauty in nature is a really lovely thing to do. Whether you can get out in the garden at the moment, whether you can go out for your walks, if that's possible for you, or it could just be that you look at nature online. Maybe if you watch some nature documentaries or something like that, would be a really lovely thing. But just noticing, and if you practice your noticing in nature, then you can bring that skill of noticing into your daily life and notice other things that you're grateful for. So that's kind of practicing the noticing skill that will help us with our gratefulness practices. Okay, so nurturing the friendships that we have is a really good thing, because obviously, you know, a lot of people, we are grateful for the friends that we have around us, and it doesn't matter if we've got 1 or 2 friends or 100 friends, we can still be grateful for the support that they give us and what they do to help us. So that's a really good thing. So just letting them know that we are grateful for them is a lovely thing to do, isn't it? Creating some artwork or a poster maybe surrounding the things that you're grateful for. So obviously that's a nice thing that we can do with the children if you're at home with them at the moment. So get them to think about the things that they're grateful for and make a poster or make some artwork. However you want to do that, stick it up somewhere so that they can see it, and that will help them to remind them to be grateful and to practice their gratefulness, because it is a skill that we need to practice. You know, it's not necessarily something that everybody does automatically, so it's definitely something that we can practice and get better at. Okay, so rewarding effort, I think, is a really good thing as well. So a lot of time we reward achievements, which is a good thing to do, but actually if we reward effort as well, I think that's a really good thing. And being grateful for the effort that people put in to us, to our relationships and things like that. So if somebody has done something nice for us, then we can reward their effort and we can reciprocate their kindness. Okay, so savouring and taking things to heart is a really good way of practicing gratefulness. So if something really lovely has happened, even if it's a tiny, tiny, tiny little thing, just take a few moments just to really savour that moment and take it deep into your heart. And then you can bring that moment back when you need a bit of a pickup, or when you're having a sad moment, or when times are a bit tough. Sometimes they do. And one night, Isabel, she's 8, she's my little one. I just opened the door, popped my head through, had a little look, and she kind of opened her eyes And she was kind of like a bit confused and looking around. So I walked over to the bed to check she was okay. And as soon as she saw that it was me and realised it was me, she did the biggest smile in the world. And it just melted my heart. And it's not a big thing, it's a tiny little thing, but it was just a massive thing to me. You know, just the biggest smile when she realised it was me was just magical almost. And that's really a moment that I took very, very deep into my heart. And I really savoured that moment and kept that moment. And it is a moment that I come back to quite often, you know, as a joyful moment, as a happy moment, and I do come back to that little moment, that little memory quite often actually. So that's a lovely one to share with you. But savouring things and taking things to heart are really, really important. It's a bit like with food almost, I guess, isn't it? You know, if you have something really yummy and you just wolf it down and you don't even really notice how it tastes, you've not really benefited from it, have you? You know, if you savour it, take your time and really enjoy it, then that's hugely better, isn't it? You know, you're actually enjoying the food, you're enjoying the process of having the food, you're enjoying the moment, rather than just yomping it and it's gone, isn't it? So yes, okay, so meditating about gratefulness is a really good thing to do. You can Google or YouTube gratefulness meditations and there'll be loads out there, so try that. That's a really good thing. Or just do it yourself and just think about all the things you're grateful for while you're meditating is a really good thing too. So mindfulness practices help us to stay in the present moment and to notice the small actions and things, and that they often mean the most, don't they? You know, it's often the small things that really mean the most to us, like that big smile that Isabel did for me that night. It was just such a tiny thing, but it meant the most, you know, and that's often it, isn't it? That first morning coffee that a lot of people really crave and really desperately need, you know, it's a small thing, it's a cup of coffee, but how much does that mean to people? For Valentine's Day, we don't really do Valentine's Day, Simon and I, but Simon did bring me a little present home on Valentine's Day, and I wasn't expecting anything. And he came into the kitchen after work, and he made me close my eyes and put my hands out, and he had something behind his back, and I could hear him rustling, like plastic rustling, so I assumed it was flowers or something, which would have been a lovely gift, and I'd have been very happy with some flowers. But it wasn't flowers. He put it in my hand and I opened my eyes and it was a packet of 5 Curly Wurlies, and I was the most excited I think I've been for a long, long time. I love Curly Wurlies, they're one of my favourite things ever, so it was so exciting that he'd actually picked something that he knew that I would really like, which was much better than flowers, I have to say. So yes, it's the small things that really do mean the most, isn't it? Loving kindness practice is a lovely thing to do, and again that's one of our mindfulness or meditations that you can do. I actually videoed loving kindness practice today for you, so practice regularly to make it a habit. Yeah, absolutely, I think we briefly talked about that before, but like any new habit that you're trying to do, you do need to practice regularly, little and often. The thing about tea time is quite a good thing to do. If you try and remember to do that every tea time, then you know that's one time each day that you can practice your gratefulness. And if you start doing that, then obviously other times during the day you will start to remember to do things as well. So that's a good one to do. Posting on social media about what you're grateful for is a really nice thing, and that's a great thing because it can encourage other people to do the same as well. So in one of our group chats on WhatsApp, I think it is, people are doing their daily gratefulness at the moment because obviously of the situations that we are in. They've decided that they are doing their daily gratefulness practices, and sometimes they put 1, sometimes they put 5, but you know, they try and pop onto the message every day and pop something that they're grateful for, and that's a really lovely thing. So you can do that if you set up a gratefulness group chat or something like that. It's good for accountability to, you know, if other people are doing it, then you will remember to do it as well and help you to do it. And it's lovely to see what other people are grateful for as well. And sharing with others, yes. So if you are grateful for something, if you've thought of something, share it in whatever way it happens to be. If it's related to a particular person or a particular group of people, then share it with them. If it's more of a general thing, then share it on social media, or you know, whatever works for you is absolutely fine. Okay, so those were my main ideas. There's obviously lots of other ways you can practice gratefulness and gratitude, but I just wanted to give you a few ideas that you could think about, you could start to put into practice. So just to go on now on some more benefits. So obviously we've talked about some very brief benefits at the beginning and some reasons why it's a good idea to practice gratefulness. We've then talked about quite a few ideas for activities and ways you can do that, and then I'm just going to finish the section by giving you some actual proper benefits, really. So gratefulness, there's actually been quite a lot of scientific studies about gratefulness, which is quite interesting. I like all that kind of thing. There's a lot of research around compassion and mindfulness and all these kind of things. So this is based on proper scientific research that's done in all over the world, in universities and colleges and all over. So, gratitude practices can help you sleep better and can give you better physical health in quite a variety of ways. It's quite surprising, actually. And I think that's mainly because, so this isn't, I think it's mainly because of the holistic and the balanced way that it helps us. But the actual benefits are proper. So it can help us to express more compassion and kindness, which can only be a good thing, surely. It can give us stronger immune systems, which is quite amazing. It helps us obviously feel more happier, and makes us feel more confident, gives us an increased sense of well-being and an increased sense of life satisfaction, which are really important. You know, as human beings, all we really want is to be happy and healthy, you know, and have some life satisfaction, don't we? That's the main thing really in life, isn't it? So being grateful can help our relationships, and that's all kind of relationships, whether it's a partner, children, friends and family, or colleagues and managers and bosses at work, all those kind of things. But if you can be grateful and really cultivate your gratefulness skills, then it can really develop and help your relationships in all those different areas. So it's a really good thing to do for relationships. It can help you to forgive because you can be more understanding. It can help you to be more assertive. You can improve your patience and all of your positive emotions. So that was all that was on my list. I love gratefulness practices. I think we should all do more gratefulness and be more grateful, just for the tiny small things, because they are what means most at the end of the day, aren't they? Absolutely. Thank you everybody for watching. It's really lovely to see you all, and I hope you find it lovely to watch. Anything you want to share them all away, share them in lots of different places, because it's great to share our messages of hope. It's great to share our messages of positivity and of love and of sharing, and of support and all of those kind of things. So do share anything that you like. Take care. Love to you all. Be safe. Stay home. Be safe. And I will see you very soon. Okay, bye guys. Love you all. Bye.